My name is Ed Runkel. My birthday is February 12th, 1928. I was born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, moved to Roselle Park, and for 55 years I've lived here in Old Bridge. My father was a German war veteran. My mother was basically a housewife, but she worked during the Depression for other people, cleaning houses to keep food on the table. When I was 9 years old, I had an interest in aviation, and like other kids my age, and I went out and bought myself a 25-cent rotor-powered model airplane, a Newport Pursuit. Was made by Meg. And then I went on. For a long time, I built 10-cent models. They were cheaper, but they were very complete kits. And I did this till I was about 14 years old. And then I tried to build a 50-inch wingspan model, but I never finished it because my sister threw the thing away because I never finished it. But in the meantime, at my age, I started to get interested in sports, baseball, golf particularly, and things like that. I graduated from Roselle Park High School in 1946, and after a few months decided to join the Army for 18-month enlistment. I was in the occupation of Japan. I had a very nice job in a photo outfit. However, I was a caption writer. I did learn the photography, but I never took a picture. But my captions were in all the newspapers. Also, in 1946, I met a very cute girl named Phyllis Scott, and I took her in the car to a football game up in Dover, and shortly thereafter we started to go steady. We got married in 1950. We had 4 boys, Scott, Tom, Dave, and Timmy, and I tried to interest them in model airplanes, but it never caught on. They built a couple, but they weren't interested. Unfortunately, Phyllis passed away about 6 months shy of our 60th wedding anniversary. When I got out of the service, I took advantage of the GI Bill of Rights to go to college. I started out for 2 years at Union Junior College in Cranford, and then 2 years at Marietta College in Ohio. And I was married in my final 2 years. I played golf on the college golf team. I was a captain of my team in my senior year. And I've played a lot of golf ever since. Until very recently, physically, I can't do it too much anymore, but I've always loved the game. After graduation from college, I took a job at the Prudential Insurance Company, uh, where I worked for 30 years. I was finished up as an associate manager and took retirement in 1983. After that, I got my real estate license, and at the same time, I got a job uh, as a golf coach, of all things. And both of those jobs lasted me for 15 years. Uh, we moved into this house in 1955, and we've lived here ever since. In 1973, I decided I wanted to do something that made me very happy when I was a kid, and that was build model airplanes. So I bought one, and not a big one, with the little O20 engine, and started free flighting them. And I flew in fields all over the place, all by myself. And it got pretty bad because I was so successful with the planes would fly away and I could never find them again. Anyway, one day I found another field closer by, and Larry Cressman and Bob Green were there. They were finishing up with the radio control flight, and tried to interest me in that part of the hobby. So I, it was quite a ways time longer, but I did finally go to the meeting, and in the meantime I had bought a Sig Cadet, which was a good trainer, and Charlie Whaler. It only cost me $20, and Charlie Whaler sold me a $20 engine, and I finally put my first radio control airplane together. Now I needed a radio system for my airplane, but they were very expensive. They were $250, which is a lot of money at the time. I finally made a deal with my wife by buying her a new television set, and I got my radio system. Uh, I mentioned before that the club was originally the Minuteman Club, and their connection was with a store in Keyport, and this went on for 2-3 years, and there's finally a falling out, and so they decided to reorganize the club and call it the Jersey Coast Sport Fliers. Finally, my plane was finished, and I took it out to the field, and Larry Cressman was my instructor. And Larry got the thing running. I could hardly believe that. And he took it, went up, and somehow or other, it was just an indescribable feeling that my plane was up there and it was under control, and I was really into the hobby. I learned to fly pretty quickly and eventually became an instructor. I don't do much instructing now, but once in a while. But back in those days, once I became an instructor, I was very busy. I was one of the primary instructors, and sometimes I'd have to give instruction to as many as 8 people a day. In 1977, I became the corresponding secretary of the club. Along with this, they decided to give Charlie Whaler, who did a fine job for 3 years, to give him a rest, and I would become the newsletter editor. I did this for 9 years, and it finally reached a point where I realized that the other officers weren't paying dues, and I had to pay dues, so I quit the job. In 1991, I started writing the newsletter again, and I've been doing it ever since. And when you think of it, it's been 30 years. I've been doing it for 30 years. And if somebody asks me, when do you ever think about quitting a job? I say, yeah, every month. It's not as hard as it used to be. In 1998, I got myself a computer, and I taught myself how to use it. It was a little bit of struggle. I had to give up the mechanical typewriter. It's a computer with a lot of advantages. It can put pictures on the screen, and it's become a lot easier. Our club has undergone many changes in its 40-year history, including the loss of many fine people, and the additional loss of up to as many as 8 flying sites. Now we've been, ever since 1987, we've been located at Dorbrook Park, which is a very good thing. Well, I'm 85 years old now, and I'm not quite the pilot I once was, but I still enjoy it. And changes in technology are tremendous, overwhelming, but I do the best I can. And I'll continue to do this for as long as I can. And if my time comes, I'm going to take my planes with me.